welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Campman. Albert, local, we always have some good news. What I like about it, we try to spread it around. It's not football every week. It's not baseball every week. But like we like to talk about some of the, I call them club sports, usually the ones that don't get a lot of fans.
Yeah.
And I really like to give those kids their due because I don't think they get as much.
Yeah, on our show, we want to give you your due. So please, athletic directors, coaches, send your email report into Greg, our producer at Armstrong Cable. We would cover you every week if you take the time to do so. George, isn't that what athletic directors are supposed to do?
I thought so. They'll get me
What
started.
do they do? I mean, if they schedule and they have meetings.
I'm particularly aware that not all of them have a full-time job.
They teach
In other
sometimes
words,
too.
if they're teaching 5 science
And that's
classes,
a good point.
They have my sympathy.
That is a
because
great point.
They don't have time to brush their
Right.
teeth. Now, when they're full-time, I would be a little more critical.
I got you.
Over in Pennsylvania, of all the schools that we cover in our other show, most have a full-time.
Gotcha.
Now, our radio show, no, there are only 2 in the county.
Okay.
Okay. And the one guy who is full-time told our third man over there he doesn't have time.
Gotcha.
So it's an individual thing.
Yes.
You can't blanket them, I don't think.
And George,
But we want your stuff.
George stuck up for you, and
Yeah.
I'll give him credit.
Yeah.
And what I'll say is this: if you want to make it a full-time job, add this to your itinerary and say to the people, "We're not covering the kids enough. Take 2 more class periods off me."
You'll never get a bad grade for caring about your students
Never.
or athletes.
Never.
When I was young and foolish,
We didn't know any better.
This one lady she liked me for some reason, and she would come to me and say, "Listen, Coach," she said, "whatever you do, just make sure when you tell them why you did it, you were protecting your kids, because you're not going to go wrong doing
Very good.
that."
I like that. So with that in mind, we have golf to cover from YSU. What a great start to the tournament, and then the Horizon League, Youngstown State, led by Caitlin, shot led after day one as we do our show. She shot a 67.
Ouch.
New single round record for the Horizon League. Caitlin, congratulate. The irons, the putting, the woods that day had to be sensational. You don't see 67 shot, George.
No,
That is tremendous.
No, I've had guys, I could take a 67 on the last day. Guy shoots 71.
And they kill you.
There's
There's my winner down the tubes.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And in baseball, YSU reaches 20 wins for the first time since 2010. On a roll, Penguins. Way to go. They defeated Oakland in a doubleheader. We love to cover the Penguins, good or bad. Right now in the portal, we have no idea what's happening with football and basketball, women's and men's, but we do know that the golf and baseball are in great hands. Let's go to the state. In Ohio, they're charging $50 per sanctioned sport. The coaches are up in arms about this. They don't like it. They also don't like, George, the expanded playoffs to 16. They think it's a money grabber. How about that, George? We've talked about that a lot on our show. Money grabbing.
Hey, coaches. Hey, coaches. It's time to take off the rose-colored glasses.
Yes.
And the fact that it's a money grab, the bottom line is that's life.
Yeah, and they're not changing it. That's what I said. Once it
life.
becomes a money thing, I don't care what panel you're dealing with, NCAA, Ohio high school football coaches, association who they're dealing with in Ohio, George, millionaire, thousands. Anytime you're talking about that much money, you're not changing it.
Well, I was just thinking to myself, $50 per sanctioned sport.
Lots of cash.
That's a lot of money per school.
Lots of cash.
Think
what I'm
about
saying.
how
No,
many schools.
We can't imagine it.
Even Elwood, you probably had 15, 18.
We have up to 18 sports now. That's what I'm saying.
And-
Let's round it off at 20.
When I was at Butler, we had 550 kids in spring sports.
By itself.
I wouldn't want to just have to check the doctor's,
Right. And the
that
schools
they-
over here are even bigger. So think about.
Absolutely. Oh, the ones, Columbus,
Yeah, I think Columbus, Cincinnati, the big
the
cities.
monsters.
Yes.
Oh, out at our buddy's place, Mentor.
It'll be interesting who pays that. They're going to ask the parents, and some parents says,
If they have to pay to get in the
I
sport.
can't do this. But Mrs. Jones, You have the best kid player.
I
in
got
the
to sing the
Hey,
other.
listen, you're the best player in the school.
somehow
somebody's paying.
Somehow that'll get paid. I got a thing the other day.
Somebody's
from
paying
my
it.
cousin's team, and his son, and they have to. It's one of the most successful programs in Pennsylvania, Bishop Guilfoyle.
Right.
They have to raise $1,000 apiece, and I texted him. I said, I don't know what this Venmo and all this nonsense is.
How
I
you
said,
pay it, right?
Give me your address. I'll send you. He
Right.
said, don't you dare. He said, somehow you get on that list. He goes, he's had that money in
Gotcha.
for months. But the bottom line is, that sounds to me like that's a lot of money.
Yeah, for some poor kids, it's a whole lot of money.
Well, the school, you know, if
You understand?
the school wouldn't be much per kid per school if it's only $50.
Yeah, but only $50 for some people.
No. But I'm saying per sport.
But I'm saying that somebody has to pay the $50.
The school, I'm saying. I mean.
Oh, you think the school pay it?
Oh, absolutely.
Elwood, the school don't pay
Yeah,
it.
they
Don't
make
pay
the
it.
kids.
Well, make the kids
even-
pay it.
But if you had, let's
That's
say
what
you had
the Shanty
25
kids had to
tennis-
pay it. I mean,
yeah, but if you had 25 tennis players, it'd be $2.
I know that, but I'm saying there are some parents.
Oh, I know.
I know. To us, $2 doesn't sound like
No,
anything.
no.
But I'm telling there's the kid, like we were talking about the other day, kids are eating cereal.
No,
for supper.
I just saw
For them, $2, we like,
another good thing came out of Washington. They're adding another meal to the school day because
help
a
out
lot
on
of they said that they get lunch, but they're going to feed them breakfast. Remember when we used to do the program in Farrell? They would feed them a third meal before.
Oh, yeah, I
they
do
went
remember
home.
that. I do remember that.
You have to realize we're so fortunate that
Oh,
we
I'm
don't
blessed beyond
understand.
belief.
So, but some people. You know, it might be a small amount to somebody else.
Yes.
But to
And
them,
that's what I was bringing up. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Canfield is one of those schools who usually doesn't have to worry about money.
No.
They're right now on a perfect season, George, in baseball. What a year they're having. 3 Division I players. They beat Fitch 15-3 in 5 innings. Fitch is a nice team, 8-3. So when you beat the good teams like that, that means you're really good. And also in softball, Ursuline, number 1 in the coaches poll, still undefeated, 13-0. What a year for those 2 teams. We'll continue to follow them as we get closer to the playoffs. We love to see some state champions brought back, no question.
Oh, absolutely. You get that weather warmer and get those batting averages up and those track times
Yes,
down. That's
yes.
what we want. Let's start with the NBA. They've done something different this year. I have to admit, when I heard 7, 8, 9, 10 in the playoffs, I thought the old 7, 10, 8,
I would have
9.
thought that.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm not crazy about it, but the season's only shorter by 10 games. See, last year in baseball, I decided the Dodgers, they're not on my list. Lakers, not on my list.
COVID list winners.
Not-
Gotcha.
They're just too short. 60 games
Yes.
is not a baseball
Way
season.
different. Was way different.
Now,
It was.
NBA this year, 62 or 72 instead of 80. I'm okay with.
That's close enough.
That's close enough.
Okay.
But what they're doing 7 and 8. Winners in, they're 7th. The losers playing the winner of 9, 10. And I'll tell you, some of those bottom teams, I'll give you 2 that nobody wants to play. Golden State and Washington.
Yeah, they're both on fire. Both have players who can lead.
1 in each half
Yeah.
aside.
Yeah, both have 2. One has Curry, the other one has Beal and Westbrook that could take you to the promised land at any time. So people are scared to play when it's driven by great players. You never know when that great player's going to
Westbrook,
go off.
His average night's a triple-double. Last night he didn't
got
get
you,
any
didn't he?
rebounds.
He got you.
I just, I looked. I
Durant's one of those players. He's coming back.
He gets
He's
77.
coming back.
No.
He's coming back. They have 3 of them.
You know what hurts me as a coach? I root against the Nets. First of all, they only played 7 games together. Secondly, when one of them, as long as Durant's there, it doesn't matter if it's Irving or
Doesn't
Harvard.
matter. Doesn't make a difference.
Not a bit.
No, not a difference.
He's ridiculous. I
Yes.
watched him yesterday making these runners and these pull up on a dime shots. He hadn't played in months.
He's a scoring machine.
And he looks to be about 7 feet.
Yeah, we know he is by length of arms for sure. He is. So he shoots the ball like a 5'10" guy.
And how about this? They said to him, he's a different cat.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been caught debating 8th graders on Twitter with the fake account saying, no, KD's really good. They found out it was him. But the point is, he said yesterday, he said, I want to come off the bench, just see what it's like. He said, no, I decided. He said, first of all, it tells you who's coaching.
Yes.
He says,
we know who's coaching.
He says, yeah, he said, I decided to come off the bench. He said, it's funny. He said, I guess because I hit my first few shots, it was okay.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, in other words, he was fine with
Yes,
it.
'cause-
In other words.
yeah, I got you.
But Kyrie, I couldn't dislike a guy off the floor more than Kyrie.
Yeah, he just sits out for personal
Doggone
reasons.
it, Al.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Al.
That's the problem with the NBA.
Pulling up from
They just sit out, and you end up not liking
how
them.
about how he finishes inside?
Best finisher of every guard in the
Both
NBA.
hands.
Both.
Tell me, okay. Westbrook yesterday, he has like 9 bazillion triple doubles in a row. So I decide on FanDuel, it's a can't miss. He gets his points, of course. He gets his
Points are always easy.
assists,
Yeah.
but he didn't go.
He usually gets 13, 14 rebounds too.
because he gets O boards.
I wonder why. I
gets
wonder what
overboard.
happened in that game. Why he didn't. I don't understand it
And,
either.
and I think it was their 9th in a row.
Yeah, it is.
'Cause my buddy called me. He goes,
They're not losing.
no, my buddy called me. He said, Cleveland's pretty good. I said, you're going against a pretty good streak there. And daggone it if they didn't pull away at the end.
Yeah, they did.
Now, let me say this. I had thought 2 different times the Celtics were coming on. They're not. I believe that the message is old.
Yeah, I don't even know if there ever was a message. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I'll go back to 2 seconds ago when we talked. I don't think the coaches have any messages. I just believe totally that if the players are playing good, they're winning. If the
He
players are
should
playing
go in
lousy,
Indiana. He screwed up.
no question. No question on mine.
He'd have been
He'd have a message there.
20-year legend.
With the college kids, there's a message. When the locker room's going good and the people are happy and they're getting along. and
So
all
you
this
don't
stuff.
think they've turned him off? You're not sure he was ever on?
Yeah, I'm not sure about anything like that.
Any
I'm
of
not.
them. Any of
I'm not sure.
Any of the
with the
coaches.
NBA, like the guy Thibodeau, who's been told how lousy he is at 6 different places, is winning this year. I just think New York would have got better players. Like Randall right now is one of the 15 best players in the league.
He's a
Well, he
star.
wasn't before. And so now all of a sudden they're winning.
And, it's like the hot guy at the Hawks. I'll give him credit. They weren't guarding his soul.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know what the reason was there.
Gallinardo, is that the name?
Yes.
Well, he's one of the reasons.
He's been better offensively. He has
Absolutely.
Been. Yeah, he has been. So I do know when the players play better, the coach they seem to turn. They listen to the coach more. So Thibodeau, they're winning.
No. That makes a lot of sense.
No, it does. Thibodeau, listen to
You're
him.
winning.
Because I know Thibodeau can coach.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know he
there
can
was
really
one
coach.
argument on him. He used to wear them out. Now, there's only a month left, and they don't appear to be worn out.
Not yet. No.
So you have to give him his due.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Because
done
I'd
the
have been
job.
the first guy to say he's going to wear them out because he always
He always
does.
has. I know he has. That's
No.
right.
I will not. Now, here's the guy. Here's the guy. You ever watch studio wrestling where they'll take a chair and they'll hit it over the guy?
Many times.
This is what
That really
I want,
hurts.
This is what I want to do to Embiid. No, I do.
So he might be injured for real, you're saying?
Yeah.
Because I've never seen a guy sit out who's bigger, stronger,
And better.
than anybody in the league.
7'2", 280. I'm watching. He'll square the guy up, jab him back, bang. And I'm like,
He's
then
unbelievable.
the second quarter, you look over, and he's laying on the carpet.
He's got that leg up in
with
the
some
air.
dude pushing his leg back. Like he can't push it back.
I know that.
Like it's stretched out. Or
Yeah, I know.
It's a joke. So I'm looking the other day, they get spanked.
Did he play?
Oh, wait a minute. Now, I'm right away. Because I want to see what this, big pile of dung had. So I'm looking, DNP. Biggest game of the year. It's a half game between Milwaukee and
Didn't
them.
play again. Amazing.
But there's a bigger game Monday night. Same way.
Yeah, they all have big games. They're all big games down the stretch now.
And now here's what the Lakers are doing. They're slipping backwards. They're a game and a half out of 6. Now here's the problem. If you're third, you're thinking, hey, baby. Then you look and
They don't want to be third. They're trying hard to get out of
You
third.
got to be fourth.
Yeah.
You got to be.
You got to be fourth. You do.
No, or second.
I'd play the first. I want to play the first seed more than I do the 6th seed.
No, because
That's
they're
the
going to get the eyebrows back.
Yeah, he's back and
And
LeBron's
the monster's coming
back.
back.
Yeah, and now they got Schroeder with them. They're a better team this year than they were last year.
That's Schroeder. I'm going to tell you about that Schroeder.
Yeah, so the Lakers are.
Now let me say this about the Lakers. I in my mind the other day I came to this conclusion. With the bald head guy that was so good in the dome
Caruso.
last year, and Mr. Hollywood with the blonde hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
I think they haven't developed like I thought they would, and I think part of it is they know they will bring somebody in at any time
It's truth.
because they will.
I know they will.
That kid's feelings were hurt. I mean, not that they care. I mean, they literally.
No, they don't
But
care.
just the same.
They don't care.
Yeah, very interesting. All right,
Yeah.
here's the big thing this week. There's only one, but let's say it already. We host 3 shows. Enough already. Let's have it. The draft.
Yeah, it's been a runaway
No
freight
Kuiper,
train.
.785934.
That's the truth.
I've had enough.
Yeah, they've had 7 mock drafts,
Oh,
and they still don't get it right. Now,
by
that,
the way,
I want
we're
that
having
job.
a special. We'll
get
give
it
it
right.
in detail.
We'll get it
right, and we're not afraid to say so and so did a like when Matt Millen was picking 77 receivers.
Yes.
You heard it here. These other guys, they do it afterwards.
They couldn't pass him up because he did yes, they
yeah.
should have passed him up.
Yeah, you
And
should
it's
have passed
proof
him
now,
up. Yeah.
10 years later,
Yeah.
that Detroit can't win a game. They're trying everything. They got rid of Stafford.
Yeah.
They're trying hard.
Yeah.
We will tell you the good draft and the bad draft. We'll tell you who we think is going to
And
be
we'll tell
the
you
sleepers.
historically when we were right and we swung and missed a few times, but not when you look at the overall record. But we will do that. Let's
Yes.
save that for the later on. By the way, look for that show. It will be up. Major League Baseball. There's a new rivalry develop, and it's developing quickly because of social media.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, in other words, 30 years ago, we'd have said, well, let's play 8 more times.
Yeah.
What's happening? The Dodgers and Padres, between the bat flips and the one eyes
Yeah.
and the trotting around and the
All the things go happen in 2021. You're right.
that you
George.
never saw before.
No.
No, Johnny Roseborough, when that, when Marichal hit him
Marichal.
with a bat, there was no social media
No.
involved. But it's different today.
Yeah, and Tatis has really came out in that series and put a show on. So now you have a player to bring up in Major League Baseball that you want to highlight, you want to get people interested in.
Tatis.
That's him. And now you have the Dodgers coming off World Championship. It's the perfect timing to put those two together.
And
I think they should.
Once again with the Dodgers, where's the Achilles heel?
It's always been that way. The bullpen's always been that.
is
But as I said, they don't get this. They did it last year. They're going to go as soon as it comes August and grab a good bullpen. They drafted the guy from Oakland last year. He cut him to the World Series and won the World Series.
Yeah.
They're going to grab another one, George.
Yeah.
They're not going to go into the World Series.
No, but he's
without a
clown
better
college.
not without a better
No,
bullpen.
this is a clown college.
So I don't even when they question this stupidity in April, in August the Dodgers will not have the same team.
I agree.
They'll have 3 different guys.
Now this Tatis, he hit the 2 homers, and it was exact to the date that his daddy hit 2 grand slams. Now I think he should have bought a lottery ticket that night because what are the odds?
He didn't want it.
Did you ever come up in the same inning with the bases loaded twice?
No one ever has.
Let alone hit it out.
If they do, let's put it this way. They have not done anything because he's the only guy in history that has done it. 2 grand slams the same
Think
inning.
about the odds of coming up with them loaded once.
Yes.
Then multiply that by whatever bazillion.
Yes.
You're going to come up the second time. Now we're going to hit it out the first time. And we're going to hit it out the second.
Yeah, it's hard enough to hit 2 home runs in a game, let alone
Never
in the
happened,
same
will
inning.
it?
Right, in the same inning.
Hey,
no doubt.
Baumgartner, I thought he was in the scrap pile. And
He has been.
He throws a no-hitter.
He's been pitching so bad. I laughed that Arizona gave all that money for guys, and finally he pitches a good game.
Hey, let me ask you your thoughts, because you're old school.
I'm too old school, though.
But
That's
there's
the
nothing
problem.
wrong with that.
No, not even a
What
problem.
about the no-hitter 7 innings?
It's not a no-hitter.
Not a no-hitter.
Not even a thought in my mind.
Just because it was not 9
It's
innings.
because it's supposed to be 9 inning home hitter. That's what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
All the rule changes that I see happening I am totally against.
You're going to hear something.
There's nothing I like about any of the rule changes. So I want this to be baseball.
You ready to hear this? I was shocked today. I almost dropped the radio. Jim Leland, old school, 75 plus years
Right.
old, World Series manager, was with the Pirates.
Great manager, yes.
Now I know you're not going to believe.
What's he say?
Do you like the 7-inning doubleheader rule? Yes, a lot.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm ready to change
Right.
the channel. Do you like the runner on second? Absolutely, like it a lot. That was it.
That's interesting.
But one he doesn't like is the one you and I dislike the most, the 3-batter thing.
Yeah.
You have to face 3. He says the problem, they all blame the pitchers. He said the batters aren't ready. He said the guy will fly to left, and then the guy will start with a turpentine. And
They all do that too, yes.
He said they should be stepping in.
And because I'm old school, TV I understand. But when I go to a baseball game, I've told George a million times.
Yeah, it's a good line. Listen to this.
Never once did I go to a baseball
Like
game
this.
and say, Hey, babe, don't forget we're leaving.
When's this over?
We're leaving in 2.5 hours because that's when it
When's
should
this
be over. No,
Yeah.
never.
Like a little 4-year-old.
I sit in the
Are
sun.
we there yet,
Or I
Mommy?
sit at nighttime. I
Yeah.
sit there. And I won't go, and I understand this. I won't go when it's 20 degrees.
No.
So you'll never see me in
The
that 20
weather's
degree
not
weather.
an issue, you're saying.
I'm talking beautiful, normal
Yeah,
day, but
I know.
I'll sit there 4.5, 5 hours. It doesn't blink an eye. I'll buy popcorn. I'll buy.
You never go, Sam.
Never.
Like a little child. When's this over, Daddy?
And that is the big thing they're talking about young people.
Yeah, they
Well,
won't
don't
watch.
go then, young people. That's the way it goes. I have no excuse. That's what makes baseball what it is. There's no clock. It's what makes it the most
gotta
special
get
game.
27
You've
hours.
got to get all 27 to get it over with.
And I'm going to tell you, I've had some.
That last three is hard to get,
I've
by
had
the way.
some- we talk about that, these analytic fools that don't think there's anything different about the last 3 outs. They
wrong.
never competed.
They're wrong.
They never competed.
They have the bow tie on and
Yeah.
never
They
played.
never competed.
They're wrong.
I agree 1,000%.
Like a free throw in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left
Yeah.
is way different than a free throw in the first quarter. Unless you've been there, you can't understand it.
And in our local teams, Indians, finally they got a game from the Yankees. Pirates at 500. I don't know if there's
That is a great record for the Pirates at this time of year.
No.
Because they started
one
out
and
poorly.
six.
Yeah, they started out poorly. But once again, it's not April. It's April.
1/8. It's a little more than
It's
1/8.
April. You want to be if they're still there in August. I'll the first guy. I'll raise my hands. I was wrong.
Boy, is this GM
I'll
good?
wait.
Boy,
I'll
is it-
wait till I'll
Yeah.
wait for a while here.
And Cleveland, all kinds of pitching. We knew
Atlanta's
the
not
problem
playing good.
coming in.
Yankees aren't playing good. I have a feeling
No, when it's over.
August will have a better record than Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I would hope so. But that is interesting. You know that. Oakland's streak ends at 13. Man, they lost the first 6. They went 13 in a row.
There's another example.
And it was Means.
He's their best pitcher.
Yeah, I have one guy from Baltimore who I know is in.
He's their best pitcher, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But if
about
you
it.
went against it waiting, you'd have lost 13 times. So don't ever do that. It's as simple as that. National League East, I'm thinking a number's going to win that AL that's going to knock you back. I'm thinking 86, 88.
Yeah, I think so too. All 5 teams are equal. They'll knock each other off. Somebody's got to get really streaky to break that. But I will say the exact same thing, George. I don't know which one I'm going to name. I don't know if it's going to be Washington, Philadelphia, the Mets, or Miami or Atlanta. I have no idea.
It's like they alternate losing. Like one will sweep them, then they'll go there and they'll.
The Expos all like Atlanta. That's what they're all liked.
Yeah.
But they're counting on all the young kids to have another good year. There's no guarantee the young kids have those years over and over and over. We'll see what happens.
No, that makes a lot of sense. The FCS is in the middle of their playoffs. I'm watching the other day, Kornheiser and Wilbon. I mean, I know everyone, they write the show for him because I can see his notes when he has his notebook out, and I can see what he wrote in writing, handwritten, as opposed to the script, so to speak.
Gotcha.
And he didn't know anyone was playing.
Who didn't?
Kornheiser.
Didn't he really?
No, sir.
Wow.
And they said, what are they doing playing?
Yeah, if you're on a
now?
big time show, you should know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Southwest Missouri score, but I know they played.
Yes.
And I know there are 3 teams from Youngstown's league.
Yeah.
And,
So
yeah.
we've been trying to keep up as best we can with it. What's interesting right now is all the good teams are left. Usually when all the good teams are left and they haven't practiced a lot, usually the underdogs will be right in every game. I see no reason why who's ever getting the points can't win the games. And all the rotten
And I
teams are
saw
up.
one the other day. I saw
All the rotten teams are
saw
out.
CM Houston squeak, like first and goal at the 10 from Monmouth. I got to think whoever's coming in there has to be confident.
But we have no idea how good Monmouth is. That's the question. They might be really good. See,
No.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
They didn't look too bad to me.
We don't. That's the problem. That's the thing about this.
it was
in a
21-0.
in a shortened year.
Yeah.
Because North Dakota State got beat right off the bat the first game, and you're thinking they weren't
and
going to do it.
Delaware playing something, and I'm like, they'll murder, and they started kicking field goals. And you know what happens when you're giving a lot of points.
Yeah, Delaware's good defensively.
God, they can't.
They're not good offensively. They're not
4
great
field goals
offensively.
at a touchdown.
They're not great
You understand?
offensively.
If that's 2-2, you waltz.
Yeah, they're not great offensively.
No, obviously. So the point is they're still playing. Now, bad news for the FBS. Central Michigan quarterback was shot
Jeez.
last week at a party. Bad shape.
Yeah, that makes you send the kid to college or high school thinking
You're not expecting 2 in the morning.
You want the phone call from your
Get a
son
call.
saying,
Is this Mrs. Keller?
Yeah, you don't want
yes,
that. You don't
ma'am.
want that call.
Well, your son.
What a sad call that is. It is.
No, and I don't like it one bit,
Yeah.
and I don't know what to say. These kids can't stay in 24/7.
No, they can't.
No, it's just
Guns are just every which way. They're everywhere and
no,
anywhere.
Good point.
Yep.
Oh, now let's talk about this portal. We've had talks on our radio show, etc. This thing is being monitored daily. There are hundreds and hundreds of players in there, and there are schools that have a coach just monitoring the portal.
And as George said it best before on one of our shows, the guy is told to refresh it every half hour.
Yes.
Because there'll be 3 more names coming in there. And that is where the recruiting is. I feel bad for the high school kids. They're really getting
left behind.
shortchanged.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're getting shortchanged because
Well, like the coach at Pitt.
Everybody's spending
in
their time.
basketball. Football, he's probably safer. He's football. Basketball, he hasn't won. He doesn't have 5 years.
No.
He can't get down to Ursuline
No.
and think, well, this point guard in 2 years, he'll
It'll be
be
this.
shaving
Yes.
and I'll be fired.
Right,
I
by
know.
then. He'll be gone by then.
Capel will not be there.
And most of the college coaches are like that. There's only some
Right.
that if somebody goes the next 2 years and goes 6-16 and 6-16, there's a good chance the alumni is going to say, "Hey, get him out of here. Get her out. Get her out
Archie
of there.
Miller.
Get him out of there. Get her out of there."
And Arch did.
There's no pay.
No,
There's
no.
no waiting for anymore.
Absolutely. A lot of coaches don't want to use it, but will have to. The guys at the better academic schools have the problems
Yeah.
because they have to go to admissions. They say, we want a guy in. They say,
No,
well,
we're
what?
not
what?
letting her in. We're
What's
not
his
letting him in.
QPA?
Yep. We're
He
not
doesn't-
letting him
He
in.
never took algebra?
Not letting him in.
No.
Nope.
Now, biggest news ever. We don't have anything to equate to this in the men's side. We don't have anything. It'd be like Kay going to Louisville. Kim Mulkey. 3 national championships at Baylor. Honest to God, Al, I can't imagine the money. LSU's had some bad publicity lately with Les Miles and the scandal down there. They're being sued by one of their former coaches. They had to put Darius
Right, it's
Geis
bad shape there, yeah.
They were looking for a feel-good thing, but I imagine the checkbook came with it.
Yeah, all right, we know that for sure. And also, she wanted to get back there. So she's been telling all her friends, if you read the articles on her, I'm waiting for the time to get back to
Rustin,
Louisiana.
she's a Louisiana
All the
girl.
way.
Yeah,
All the way.
She played for La Tech.
And she wanted back there, and her son plays there. So you got the family. It's a
How do you
family
say
thing.
that?
It's a whole family
Okay.
thing. And now you know they offered her money too, but but Baylor, it said Baylor offered her more money. But she still left because she wanted to go back to Louisiana.
Yep. Last few minutes, the men's hoops portal exploding again. We talked about it. I heard something interesting I didn't know the other day. When someone gets into the portal, they aren't counted with their new team till they sit in a class.
Right.
So a lot of these guys may be so-called spoken for, but
We just don't know about it.
they haven't been in a class.
don't
So
know
the
about it.
numbers might not be as staggering as they appear.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to just call it like that. But it looks to me like it's chaos. Now, the minute you say anything, well, the coaches go. Well, okay, they do. But maybe don't restrict their mobility, but put a little bit of a consequence. The city year, I don't think is as bad as it was.
Right.
Because you see the alternative, free-for-all.
Yeah, it is. And I'm big. I'm old school. You've heard me on the show many times. I always think if you're getting $300,000 of education paid for, I think that's a pretty good deal to me.
You don't think that's slavery then?
No, I don't.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, I don't. They do. I don't think it is.
Yeah, they equate
I don't think it
to
is.
something.
If you
dumb.
weren't getting anything,
Yeah.
but you're getting $300,000 education.
Minute left. MMA. We don't cover it much. We mentioned.
George knows a lot about this,
Yeah,
by
but
the way.
it doesn't matter. What I want to say is I'm watching the other night. First sellout, by the way. Someone pronounced the COVID gone. The state of Florida has pronounced COVID
they had that a
gone.
long time ago,
And
yes.
Texas is next. They're in there like sardines. Tom Brady's there. Every celebrity's there. They fill up Jacksonville Center, 15,000. They're on top of each other. Well, one of the feature bouts, the fight just started. And they like to kick behind the leg because it makes the guy flinch. And when he sometimes moves forward, the overhand punch comes with the fake kick. Well, this guy kicked the guy and his leg exploded. I've never seen anything.
The guy that did the kicking.
Did the kicking,
Right.
not the guy that got kicked.
Yeah.
And I looked down, and it was like one of these cartoons. His right foot looked like a hockey
Did
stick.
they call it right away?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And the other guy ran to his corner and prayed.
Okay. So it's
So,
different.
You know, this is some serious stuff.
Right.
Hey, another fast half hour. Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. See you next week.